Alright. You on this now. An actual good game. What the heck? Alright. Head over a little. Okay. Easily game of the year. Well, hold on, this isn't. Okay. Yeah, the whole Borderlands thing kinda just fell apart. Because, I guess they patched the gold key thing, or they put in a max amount that the game detects as you're allowed to have. But who really cares? Alright, well, since there's two pea shooters, and I'm trying to, hold on. This audio, oh yeah, kinda. I forget I have it like way down from when I'm playing and listening to music. But we on a real game now, so whatever. Who cares? Lagging really badly. Sometimes it's just unlike Borderlands, this game's actually fun. Crazy. It is lagging badly though. It might sometimes when you first get on though, the first game is really laggy for some reason. Not gonna be worried or anything. I guess that does like barely. That doesn't do good damage. Because right now I'm just using characters that I don't have leveled up all the way. Mastery. Simply because I want to get them all to that and then go back to using whatever I like. The ones I don't have leveled up all that way yet are the Citron, the pea shooter, as you saw, even though pea shooter is good, I just disliked it at the beginning when the game came out. And then the cactus, but the cactus wasn't bad, but after you get the attack or the perk that gives you a chance to make enemies explode upon killing them with a max power knife, makes it way more tolerable. But not sure how long we're going to be on this. This is just something that I was going to be on Borderlands for maybe like an hour, but that didn't turn out. This isn't, well, I guess it's full, so it's not technically open, but after this ends, I'm going to leave and then rejoin a game. Because that usually fixes the lag. Because every once in a while on this game, when you first turn it on, the first match lags, but then it's fine afterwards. Even though the ping is fine. Well, fine for my connection. Because the ping is usually at 45 exactly, so And then you come over here, click this. See right there, top right, ping 45. That's my usual ping. Between 45 and 50. So, but in this game, it's usually a steady 45. Sometimes 40 moves up to 47. So like Call of Duty, you know, they purposely throttle your connection. Like you look at the connection, and you have your connection is supposed to be 22 meg down. You even check it on your PS4, but then Call of Duty throttles it to like literally 2 or 3 megs. Well, megabytes. So it's like, wow, no wonder that I'm always behind. Well, Black Ops 4 isn't as bad. Like, and neither is literally every other Call of Duty besides Modern Warfare 2019. It's the only one, and that game only does that because I'm pretty sure my PS4 just struggles to run it. Because you'll be in multiplayer, one grenade will go off on your screen and the whole game drops frames and lags because of the one grenade. And it's like, well, where you play a little cactus. I'll show you the perk I was talking about. Where okay, it's probably just because the stream is up, so I'm not gonna. Might be a little difficult to use the cactus in this instance, but whatever. Who cares? Put those down. Like, I'll see if it, because it's only a chance to proc if you kill him with a full. Well, that kind of, I don't know if that was. But it's better when there's like a whole swarm of the regular ones. You're gonna kill them all in one bullet. I don't know if they buffed the cactus at all. But, it kind of feels like it, to be quite honest. And that... I'm just randomly shooting at the tag, hoping it would. Yeah, because like the ping is fine. That's the usual ping that I get, but it's probably just because of the. Then I have it open as well, so it's kind of eh. So we probably won't do BO4. I mean, might try it later, but yeah, we out. Probably won't. Like, why was that hitting? That was weird. It was for some reason only hitting 23 for a crit full power. Like, that was the explosion thing, how I killed both those engineers in one bullet. It's weird. I feel like, for some reason, sometimes when you're shooting the minigun like that, it'll proc it. Even though I'm pretty sure, unless it changed, they could have changed it to make it better. That was bad. Yeah, that was like right. I don't know. Maybe it is lagging. I mean, it's like very slight. Well, actually, it's not that slight. Whatever. 895, almost to 900. Wait. Oh, wait, no, that's just. Okay. Wait, no, that was the guy who wanted to. Well, I deleted Modern Warfare, but I mean, that Dark Paradox guy was the guy who wanted to play Modern Warfare. My PS4 literally basically can't run it, to be completely honest. That's why I don't, because I tried to play, well, for some reason the spawns on shipment are like really, really bad. Like worse than the regular shipment. Because I went back to the original, well, the Modern Warfare remaster, and played one game on shipment, which I put the gameplay up of it, and it was fine. The spawns, like, okay, obviously the spawns aren't going to be perfect on that small of a map. However, they were tolerable. And then you go to Modern Warfare and you'll be holding the objective and it'll spawn enemies literally in the 2 inches of the map that's behind you. Or it'll just, when the hardpoint is mid-map, it'll literally just spawn you mid-map in the hardpoint when there's like 4 enemies staring at where it's going to make you appear. So, would not recommend. I mean, it was fun for a little bit, but then you realize if you want to play that, you might as well go back to the Modern Warfare remaster. And yeah, they didn't have a shipment 24/7 on that. I was thinking maybe they will, because they have a permanent Nuketown only playlist in BO4 right now, so that's been there for months. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll play some Modern Warfare remaster. And I just played it for one match, and it's kind of like, eh, it's fun, but definitely not BO4 Nuketown. Stolen missile. Yeah, we probably won't be on this all that long. It was just something because of the bordering thing literally did not work. This is definitely lagging. Well, not lagging. Yeah. Like you can see the shots there were kind of, what the heck? Then it looked like that super brain clicked on you the map and just gave me. It's definitely, because the game never lags like this ever. Except whenever streaming. It's whatever. We'll deal with it for a little bit. In case anybody else comes to me real quick. I mean, I saw the number fluctuate up to like 2 and 3 and all that. Yeah, like see how, yeah, it's definitely I wonder if I pause this, if it'll help. Let me see. I don't know. It shouldn't really matter, to be honest. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna call it after, well, maybe I gotta do one stuff, maybe. So, let's chill for a little bit more, and then Maybe I'll try BO4 later, maybe not, I don't know. Because it usually doesn't do this even with the game. Because it is kind of... I mean, maybe we're just getting bad luck on the host. It's not being good. At least that makes... that makes it so the recoil goes basically zero. Man, well, I might as well put these down because... Conehead. Oh, the conehead. Oh, that Dave. Yeet. The sad thing is they have a bunch of invisible walls on most of the maps in this mode, at least. So you can't really fly up to, like you can't fly on top of that rock or anything. Like you can't even get on that ledge right there. But yeah. But yeah, the most annoying boss in the game is definitely the Yeti, simply because, well, the elite version, not the regular one. Because if I'm not the Chomper, I just leave if we get the elite Yeti boss, because most people are too stupid to know how to do it. And you basically need a Chomper that knows what they're doing for that one. And then most people are just so brain dead that they have no clue how to do it. So I have that tutorial up on the elite Yeti boss where I was playing the Chomper and it was really easy. Because the Chomper can one-hit the Ragnarok Imp or whatever. Alright. But, well, see, the ping is the same, so I don't know. Maybe we're just getting unlucky. Or you would think the ping would go up. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, somebody does, obviously, but... Oh, well, we got zombies, so... well, the only two zombies I don't have mastered yet are Foot Soldier and then the Scientist, which are both, you know, almost there. But we'll go with the... because before I click Scientist, I usually see what everybody else is. Because some people, you know... if they're not a blatant DPS character, we will literally lose in ops mode, even though it's the easiest mode in the game. Because people are just bad, and they are playing characters that aren't built for DPS output, or they just don't know how to do it. Like, people will play this character that this guy is, but they'll be too stupid to go into the morph mode and use the laser beam thing, because especially if you have a simulation on or a simulation on, that like, absolutely wrecks it in this mode. And you can just wipe out entire spawns of them instantly, because when you get killed in a simulation, it gives you basically a full charge one. So. And now nowadays when I heal, I usually just don't bother healing until their overshield is completely gone. But yeah, it definitely is being causing mistakes. So. See, this guy's actually smart enough to be in this transform move. If he's smart enough to cycle between assimilation and the thing that ability that recharges your stuff faster, that's yet to be seen. I don't. Is he used? Oh no, it is automatically turns like that. I don't remember because I haven't used that character in forever. Because that was literally one of the first ones I leveled up all the way. Because it was crucial in completing the one mission where they nerfed it now, so the mission's way easier. Because the people on your team in that mission now are champion, which means they have a lot more health. Instead of it being your team of regulars versus a team of champions where the AI on the other team has aimbot and the AI on your team just gets wrecked in like 1 second. I did put up footage of that beating it before they nerfed it and made it easier though, so yeah. Good. 1 second. Got a little cold, so but yeah, right now I'm just trying to get this crap everybody to master, so we only have 5 more and then all 5 characters are on the last rank, so there'll be 5 on the master. And then luckily they added like the Grandmaster rank, which you don't unlock any perks for leveling up to Grandmaster, but it's something to keep you playing the game at least. Because when that rank first came out, I got my sunflower to it the first day, just to see if you got anything, and it's just coins, you don't get like a secret perk or something. It's kind of disappointing, but then again, like the sunflower, my build already has pretty much the best thing. You can literally heal yourself while healing a teammate or 2 teammates at the same time. I'm not even focusing on the marigold because you don't get XP if you're not the one that gets the last shot on it, and it's just coins for completing it. So. And most people are too stupid to just go for it anyway. So. Like, see, you got all of these 3 goons chasing after it, but they couldn't do it. So it's kind of just like, who cares? Because it's just like, I think it's what, 2,000 or 3,000 coins for doing it. So, and I don't really use the coins. Like, I'll spend a little bit every once in a while, but I usually just use it on the daily 10,000 free XP. So. This is an open lobby, by the way, if anybody has the game and wants to play. Obviously it's full right now, but if anybody does, you can either just join if you're on my friends list already, or let me know. Either through PSN message or in chat. I know Wirt doesn't even have a PlayStation. See, the lag is kind of causing... I'm just going to use that because if you heal when they're at critical health, as the game calls it, you get 5 per tick of healing instead of 3. I don't know where this other, like, is usually the heart of that, like, JP guy will be coming up on the screen. So I could, oh, you know, he was using that, so I guess it was. Or maybe the heart doesn't come up when he's in the transform mode. I don't know. Or maybe because that. Oh, I thought it was glitched in the barrel for a second. That's crazy. I'm like not even really paying attention. Like, you see how these people are so bad they're letting the plants pretty much wreck this? I mean, it still has 50 cents that, depending on the boss wave we get, that may or may not be enough for people who are bad. Because the scientist does not output good DPS. Because obviously he's the healer. You think the bad players usually plant the stuff really quickly and they're not even doing that. Because they're usually like scrambling for it. Like that 11 XP is some big crazy thing that they use. I don't even know if I have... Alright. Wait, is it? Okay. Well, hopefully, that guy's at high level and it was kind of cool. I mean, obviously, like, level in games these days doesn't mean anything, because all it means these days is you played it. Back in the days of, like, Black Ops 1, if you got into a lobby and there was a guy that was, like, 10th prestige, and it was, like, 3 months after the game came out, you would be like, oh, that guy's probably actually good at the game. But nowadays, it's just like, he probably just played during Double XP weekend in a party and like boosted or something probably. And like only stayed in the lobby if that wasn't a lobby. I wasn't even paying attention to see what boss it was, but it was obviously not an elite one because this is here. If y'all did not know, the grave or the garden goes away if it's an elite boss, so you don't have to worry about. Like, where's this guy at? Because oh, okay. I don't know. This wasn't being the heart of the room. The only thing I wish is that the scientist shotgun either shot faster or did more damage. I mean, obviously they gotta keep it balanced for PvP, but in PvE, personally, I think games should make things more OP and more fun. Because it's not like the AI is gonna go on their forums or tweet at them and stuff. Definitely do gotta stuff the nose right now. That's crazy. This guy seems to be, yeah, he seems to be using the thing now. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Pickle Rick! One random pea shooting over here. Alright, I'm gonna check something real quick. I need to plug my headphones into this and see if it is all working real quick like. So test. Alright, just had to do a little test because when I clicked the pad to see like the scoreboard and stuff, it was like, ooh, I didn't see my mic moving, so is it not working? But it is. So as you can see, the pea shooter's almost maxed. So is the orange, but the orange is Citron is what I've been using the daily XP on, because between the orange, the cactus, and the pea shooter is the Citron is the most boring to play because he doesn't really output good damage, and his EMP doesn't really do anything in this mode. So, and his laser beam is honestly pretty weak except against bosses. So. But oh yeah, I'm probably gonna dip out after this 5 waves. I'm gonna do a little pea shooter action. Because the lag that doing the stream causes is... it's not unbearable. Because if this was a PvP game, or I mean if I was in PvP, I probably wouldn't be playing at the moment. But... as you can see, when the game first came out, I did not like the pea shooter, but now, I don't know if they buffed it, because I don't pay attention to what they changed in this game. But, it seems like they may have, or maybe I just like play the character enough, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that actually is good. Yeah, this kind of age though that since it started with 4 people, we got stuck with the amount of zombies that 4 people would face for the first round. That's why there was that many forming in. So the other 2 people left, but it had already started, so we already were scheduled for zombies for 4 people. But not really anything you can do about that. Oh yeah, and then because if it does, it's probably also lagging due to it possibly picking me for the host. So, oh my. But we'll deal with it for this last 5 waves. Like as you can see, it's kind of like skipping shots sometimes. Target the engineer because they're stunned and I can actually hear the sound of my character's hat going off. So I usually have the sound so low. I can actually hear it going. Miss me with that. Thanks, tree man. Absorbed literally every single stun grenade. Which is exactly what the tree should do, because the tree getting stunned, obviously you can't use your abilities, but you couldn't move quickly anyway. going on? Hopefully we don't get an AIDS boss. Because we're plants, so we can't get Yeti or Super Beam. Because the Elite Yeti is annoying, as I already explained, and the Super Beam is just annoying because a lot of the time the AI just glitches out and it wanders around the outskirts of the map and you have to go find it, which is very annoying. But there's not really any annoying zombie bosses, to be honest. Like the Elite version. Like the most annoying one, I don't know, it's probably the vampire, just because it takes a while and it's tedious. Some of them can be annoying though, when the people you're playing with don't know what to do. Well, I didn't even notice it was it's the prevent guarding damage one that has historically, oh, we got more people though. But that one was historically hard to do. Especially if you got really dumb people in your lobby or people playing non-DPS characters, which every character in well, I guess the tree is the tank that in this mode those are definitely the best DPS characters. Because their flame wall thing can just absolutely wreck if used properly. You can just take out their whole farm. Definitely the best DPS character out of either side for this mode anyway. Pea shooter is definitely potentially up there. But I would personally say placing the chili bean bomb more properly, or placing it properly, is more difficult than placing a firewall properly. Difficult to play? Well, it depends if you have good teammates, to be quite honest. Because literally every class is easy if your teammates are smart. But I don't know. From my experience, the rows can be highly difficult if your teammates are stupid. As well as a scientist, but that's just because you can't dish out damage. And it's kind of the same with the rows. But I think they buffed it, so it's not as bad as it used to be. Because I never played the rows, and I basically leveled it up only through the daily XP. But then for the last few levels, I actually played it, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's not that bad. I mean, we can do a quick ranking of the characters after this, because I'm going to get off after this. We can do an S tier, A tier, B tier, and then... oh, I don't know, it depends how we'll do that real quick. after this boss line. So they would be on Borderlands 1, but they apparently fixed the key thing. So. It's a good thing I already put a video out on it, so I'm curious. We already proved that. They probably saw my video and then fixed it. Too bad I already like used it as much as I wanted. Kind of crazy. Like the lag right there is causing it to be weird. Like you can literally hear. Like, where are the other people even at? They must be fighting another boss. Oh, there's that guy. It's definitely... can't lie. But yeah, we'll rank the characters. For ops mode. I only played PvP once as a Sunflower. Haven't played it since. It's not particularly all that fun, to be honest. Like the original Garden Warfare multiplayer was a ton of fun. Then Garden Warfare 2 definitely fell off because they didn't really balance any of the stuff. That's that. And then this game, I don't really know how it is because when I played it, it was back before it even actually legitimately came out. So. But we'll do our little quick character ranking. Now that said, there are the characters that I haven't maxed, so I don't know their full potential with the different perks I can get, so to take that into consideration. But we'll start with the plants. This is for ops mode, so pea shooter is definitely S tier. Even if your teammates are dumb. Chomper is probably A tier if your teammates are dumb. But it definitely has S tier potential, especially if you get the Yeti boss. Corn cob. I would say the corn cob is definitely B tier in ops mode because his abilities don't come back quick enough and his DPS is not really that good, but he does do good burst DPS. Nightcap is S tier as long as your teammates aren't mentally brain dead, because the Nightcap does really good damage but doesn't have that much health. You have good survivability with the abilities, but I would put it at an A tier if your team doesn't really know what to do, because you have to, well, if you have the skill, it's always S tier. So Snapdragon, definitely S tier. Overweight. But definitely S tier because especially if you use this and or oh yeah. That definitely helps, but it's still S tier regardless. Cactus, to be fair, I don't have those and I don't know what they are, but they're probably bad. And most of the cactus stuff is bad, but oh, it's when earning a critical vanquish. Oh, okay. That actually makes it better. So cactus is probably A tier if you have a good team and know how to use it right. But it's very critical. Citron is pretty much only good for tanking / reviving and is pretty much really terrible. Barely any damage. The EMP does basically nothing. The laser is good against bosses, but otherwise it's terrible. And the spin dash is decent, but it doesn't really do enough damage to be that relevant. So it's honestly probably F tier, to be honest. It's either S, A, B, or F pretty much. The tree, definitely S tier. I don't remember what. Oh yeah, larger area, slow. Oh yeah, you can use that to lock down an area because it stays there and the AI don't attack it. More ammo, and then that's a big help. Health regen delay. Health regen speed doesn't really matter. Sunflower, definitely S tier. And the rose, you see, leveling up the rose, it's actually bad and would probably be F tier. But once you level all the way up and you unlock this and this, it actually would be what I would call A tier if your team's good, but B tier if your team is dumb. As enemies will stay goats longer, and this is critical because the rose doesn't really have all that much in the way of health regen perks. It does have, like, if you kill a enemy you have marked with the jinx, you gain health, but that's not good, pretty much. So, but this is really good. All you have to do is hit that, you go invincible and regen all the way to full health. So. Now this, the zombies, foot soldier, very low DPS. The missile doesn't come back quick enough for how little it does. Rocket Jump doesn't jump that good, especially compared to the first two games. And the Super Stink Cloud, it's not bad. It says it blocks vision, but it also does damage. But it's not really that good, because the area it covers is way smaller than when the enemy AI uses it. So, Foot Soldier is definitely B tier. It's not unusable, because the Citron is F tier, because if you're stuck with bad teammates, you literally, even if you're really good, you can't do anything. The Imp, not the best before you get these two upgrades. You gain mech fuel by damaging enemies with your slam, and faster refresh time of your mech when you deal damage. I'm pretty sure they nerfed Mech Hunter a little bit. It used to be like crazy overpowered, but these two combo well. And like Vampiric, you could go with that, but the mech has so much health, and when you're little, you're either going to be able to get away or not, so it's not really that. Plus, you're going to be in, your object is to be in your mech as much as possible, because the Imp's DPS out of the mech is not that good. So with this build, the Imp is definitely an S tier character, because you're pretty much always in your mech. You can get a mech literally every single round. And then if like you leave it right as the round's ending, like, yeah. Super Brains. Super Brains is, I would say he's S tier when his abilities work properly, but sometimes they just goof up. I don't know why, but if you use Vampiric in Hero Moment, like, hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm just seeing if that was a different character apparently, but you gain health for every enemy you knock into the air with that, and gain health for every vanquish. None of his other things are really that good. Like, oh, well, right there, gain health by dealing damage with Turbo Twister. But the thing is, Vampiric is more critical, and Hero Moment is way easier. Plus, if you look here, you gain health by dealing damage with it, but this is just straight up health for every enemy you knock into the air. So they're getting knocked into the air, obviously, so that gives you more of a chance. I know this stuns, but it's just, and it doesn't recover as much health because I tested it. Because you're taking damage while spinning and regaining health, so it can sometimes just be negated. But this, you just jump, slam, they're up in the air, then you can have a chance to get away after healing. 80s action hero. I used to think that I never even designed this character after maxing him. What the heck? Let's actually do that right now. Take all this crap off. No, what was the other one? Oh yeah, free ride. Fire additional rockets by earning a vanquish with rocket ride, which is critical. Gain health by earning a vanquish, which is like the can't missile doesn't do that much damage anyway, so that's useless. There's that. The tag system is pretty much useless. And you got targeting arrows. Like, that's stupid because you pretty much won't die in ops mode. Like, charge bow faster by earning a vanquish. I mean, like, that's terrible. Anything that has to do with tags. I tested that. It barely does anything. Daily damage. No, that's, no. That might, like, cause I was thinking of that, but like, you pretty much never charge the bow blaster anyway. And you get faster refresh time by getting multiple. So I assume that means that would combo with the other thing. And I was thinking of using this to help out, because you get even more health back, and then combo. I think that's the best choice, to be honest. Because you get free ride, which gives you more missiles if you get kills, and that combos, like, okay, well, there's vampiric, obviously, that's obvious. You get more rockets when you get a vanquish, which will combo with this to get faster refresh time for all abilities by earning multiple vanquishes. So that means when you're using the rockets, you're getting it back faster for that. And then you throw on that because it makes your health, because health regen in ops mode is critical, because you will die way more if you don't have some form of vampire. Electric Slide. Definitely an S tier character, especially with cooling sparks, which you get your tornado back if you're in a vanquish with it, which you pretty much always get a vanquish with it unless you're just trying to scoop up one last enemy at the end of a round. And then vampiric is obvious because a lot of the perks in this game are just useless. Like the electrical stun is basically useless because it doesn't work on bosses, and by the time you stun an enemy, regular enemy, well, yeah. See, defibrillated, you can regen and reload while you're in your little orb mode, which would be good. However, vampiric is more useful, and then if you're using vampiric, you obviously can't use a 5-1. That would be good for PvP though, but still S tier character. Captain Deadbeard. You see, his is critical on your team because his shotgun is basically useless. Outputs practically no damage. So if your team's bad, you're screwed. So I would say if your team is bad, Captain Deadbeard is an F tier character. But if you have a good team, or they at least know what they're doing, it's B tier. Because none of his abilities are relevant for the most part. Like, Windshield isn't terrible, but in ops mode, the AI aimbot your bird, so you gotta kind of cheese with it anyway. So I just went with health regen and health regen delay, because he doesn't really have that much health, and there's basically no other ability that's worth using. Like, but freebie is good because you gain ammo in your sniper when you get a kill at max charge. Which, when there's a swarm of enemies coming, that's the number one thing that'll help you if your team is bad. Because the shotgun, basically just don't use it because it's not good at all. Shoots slow, does no damage. All-Star, I would say the All-Star is an A tier character. A lot of his skills are bad. That's actually not too bad, but he's a tank character. So, I was thinking because they may have changed these since the last time I looked. Nah. Like, you would think that would be good for PvP, but in ops mode, it's basically you're going to be able to cool down instantly anyway if you don't overheat. So Starstruck, deploy tackle dummy to knock enemies away, and then health regen delay because he's a tank, so you want to get that health back fast. And this is to be able to, you know, get them away from it if you're trying to heal, so it's kind of like a last-ditch effort. And also because his DPS isn't the best, which is why he's A and not S tier. And it's to keep enemies off of the point. So, Space Cadet, probably really bad in PvP, but S tier in PvE because of assimilation. All the other abilities it has are bad, which is why we have these two. And I don't think this character has anything to regen health by getting a kill, which is why these are a must. But you have assimilation. Vanquishes with Crater Maker, increases duration. Which, it literally gives you full duration for one kill on any enemy in ops mode. And this ability melts bosses. And what you do, yeah, I'll show you. You use it. Oops, wrong button. I have that naturally. Alright. You use it. Obviously you're not getting kills, so it lasts barely any. But and then you use this to get it back real quick. And then you can use it again. Obviously you have to be smart when using it. But that will, you can literally melt a boss by yourself in 2 uses. You could technically do it in one use if you're killing other enemies with it, but usually they don't do that. They don't like hug up by the boss unless it's a sunflower. And the laser shoots pretty dang quick. Scientist. F tier character if your teammates don't know what they're doing. Because even if you keep them healed, if they're too stupid to keep the zombies, the plants off of the point, your shotgun doesn't output enough DPS to stop them, so you will lose. But if your team isn't brain dead, the scientist... See, that's the problem. If your team's brain dead, he's useless, even healing. But if your team's good, his heals are useless because they're smart enough. So if you get that like mid-tier or during bosses where if your team's just face tanking, then he's good. But I would say the scientist overall is B tier. If his shotgun actually was allowed to shoot as fast as you could pull the trigger, it would probably be an A tier character. That said, I've never really looked at any of his upgrades. I just slapped on random ones. So. Engineer. S tier if you know how to use them. Because a lot of people don't use the engineer correctly. And a lot of people don't like the engineer because they think he's bad. However, his abilities, well, sprinting to knock, that's to basically get away from enemies. And then this is just one, like, increased range of concrete launcher, which, wait, what? Hold on. And extend the range of your helper, which is really good. Hold on a second. I don't think he has anything to... Okay, I was just seeing if... Okay, I tried that. It just really just screws you up and all that. Yeah, I've just seen if he had... See, that's not relevant in ops mode because you always see the health bars. I've just seen he doesn't have anything that lets him heal, which doesn't particularly matter because you're not going to be on the front, well, kind of on the front line if you're using them right. Because your heavy helper, well, this is pretty much useless, except to kind of mess it up. This is good for chompers, and even though the chompers don't burrow you in ops mode, but it's good for stunning enemies that are on the point if your team is kind of dumb. But this is about the best thing in the game. Not only does it shoot enemies and boost damage of all teammates in its radius, but it gives you ammo. As the engineer, if you're in the radius, you literally never have to reload. You can also move it around, and it has good, well, recharge to move it, but it has like a 22-second recharge if it dies. But obviously you are supposed to like stand back with it. Yeah. S tier character, 100%. Like, the only thing is, most people don't understand that the engineer regens ammo for everybody that stands in it and boosts damage. And it does damage, so... Well, the damage a turret does is negligible, but... That's that. He doesn't really have that much in the way of perks, though, but he's still S tier because he literally helps every single character become better. And his damage is actually pretty good, even when it's not boosted. And then Signal Amp is pretty much the only, like, increased range of the rocket or concrete launcher isn't really that relevant. This is, like, this can help you get away from enemies because he doesn't have heal abilities. So, that'll help with that, but when it comes to this, you can pick whatever else you want because I would not recommend using that, though, because it basically doesn't do anything. You could do that if you just want to mess around, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. And that's... Or... Oh, that's using that, never mind. For a second I thought that was with using the helper. And I was gonna be like, oh, what the heck? But that's when allies use it, that's not you, so you have to, for that to work, it might work on yourself. That's actually, hold on, let me test that real quick. Let's take off Seismic and Breakthrough and put on Rally the Troops. Oops. Let's put this down, and then use it. Hold up. Let me put this down again. It only gives you one reduction. You can't just keep going over it. If you could do that, I would actually keep that on. But you only get the one reduction. So... Because Signal Amp... Like, it increases the range of this, which, so you can... So like right here is where the farthest way you can stand. I mean, that's mostly just to have something to allow for teammates to get the benefit more likely if they don't know about it. I don't know. But I could see people using the ability where, like, if you go over that, it reduces it, but the recharge time. I'm actually going to make a second class where I put that on as well as as well as that. We'll see. But that's that. I'm gonna get off for now, so maybe BO4 later, but I don't know, I'm kind of feeling sick, so